Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you a discussion video, something I haven't done on the channel recently, but I enjoy making these, so I thought I'd make one. Let me know your feedback on this style of video. If you want to see more, even if you have any suggestions as far as video topics are concerned, leave those down below in the comments, and I definitely will consider everything that you guys have as far as suggestions go. Also, if you guys have any thoughts of your own or questions regarding the topic, leave those down below in the comments as well. We'll get a bit of a discussion going, and of course, I'll answer all of your questions. Now, today's video topic, I want to talk about the width of soccer cleats because it's a topic that is pretty controversial. There's a lot of confusion around it, and I think the majority of that confusion comes from the fact that there's really no answer to this topic or question, whatever you consider it as. Now, the main point that I want to get across in today's video is that most soccer cleats will fit most people, and I'll explain why in just a second. With this topic, there are a lot of preconceived ideas, preconceived notions that aren't necessarily true. Think of this video as somewhat of a Mythbusters, if you will, in that I'm going to be explaining some things and sharing my thoughts on the topic. I had the opportunity to wear pretty much every high-end and low-end shoe that's come out in the last 3 years or so. So I have a pretty good idea in terms of the entire market of soccer cleats and how everything fits, not only because I'm very familiar with everything, but because I've actually had the opportunity to wear everything. So I'd like to think that I know what I'm talking about, and hopefully what I have to say here will clear up a lot of confusion regarding the width of soccer cleats. So the first thing you have to consider is the companies themselves and how they come up with the shape and the fit of each individual model that they release to the public. So let's just step away from soccer cleats, for example, for a second, just to give you guys an example. Let's pretend that you have a small company and you're going to launch a product. Now that product you're launching, you can either make it appeal to a very small audience or to a very broad general audience. Obviously, if you were that company and you wanted to make as much money as possible, you would want your product to appeal to as many people as possible, because that makes your potential to make money much larger than if that product would only appeal to a smaller percentage of that audience. So now let's bring it back to soccer cleats. Let's say you're Adidas, let's say you're Nike, Puma, whatever brand it may be, you're releasing a pair of soccer cleats to the public. You want that soccer cleat to fit as many people as it possibly can. Now, of course, it's not going to fit everybody perfectly. It'll fit some people really well, but you want it to fit well in general. Again, amongst a very wide variety of people, because everybody has different size feet, everybody has different shape feet, and it's very difficult to create a particular shoe for a particular foot type. So again, they want that shoe to appeal to as many people as possible. They want that shoe to fit as many people as possible. So that's why they have a very general fit, which brings me back to most soccer cleats will fit most people. Now, a lot of you guys are probably confused right now because you're thinking, oh my gosh, Nike makes shoes that are wider than others and some that are narrower than others. They all have their own different fit and feel. And yes, that's 100% true. And this is where personal preference comes into play, because this is a huge thing when it comes to soccer cleats. You guys have probably seen in the comment sections of my videos, I've maybe even given you an answer like this before, where somebody says, I like this shoe and I like this shoe. I can't decide between the two which one is better. And I almost never ever give an answer saying this one is better than this one, unless it is actually the case. But what I like to say is this shoe has this to offer, this shoe has this to offer. Click between the two and decide which one you prefer, because at the end of the day, you're the one wearing them, not me. So again, when it comes to the width of the soccer shoe, the fit of the soccer shoe is something that you have to develop a preference for. It's something you have to determine for yourself. Some people will love the feel and fit of a Nike Mercurial Vapor 10, whereas others will not. They'll prefer something like an Adidas Copa Mundial. They're both comfortable shoes, but comfortable in completely different ways. So this brings me to my second point, determining how wide your feet actually are, because a lot of people think they have wide feet when they don't. So again, let's get away from soccer cleats as an example for how you can determine for yourself whether or not you have wide feet. Now, if you go to a general sports store, most people have these in their area anyways. And let's say, for example, you try on a whole bunch of running shoes. If you can put on, let's say, 9 out of 10 running shoes and feel very, very comfortable in them, you probably don't have wide feet. Again, running shoe, just like a soccer cleat, made to fit as many people as possible. If the shoes are very, very tight and you find them extremely uncomfortable width-wise, then you probably have wide feet. If you have to go to a special shoe store and buy yourself double E, triple E width shoes that are specifically made to fit wider feet, that's when you may run into some issues when it comes to the width of your soccer cleats. But like I said, if you can go to a general shoe store and try on most shoes and feel comfortable in most shoes, you probably don't have wide feet. So we've determined that most soccer cleats will fit most people. We've determined that most people don't really have wide feet. The third thing we need to figure out is how your soccer cleats are supposed to fit, because this is, again, a very controversial topic and most people just don't understand how their shoes are supposed to fit, and that's why they have this preconceived notion that they have wide feet, because they put this shoe on their foot, it didn't feel right to them, and they automatically assume, oh my gosh, this thing's too tight, I have wide feet. And like I said, that's not really the case. Now, when it comes to soccer cleats, they're supposed to have a snug, tight fit. Little to no extra space on the inside of the shoe whatsoever. It's really supposed to have that precise fit and feel on your foot. Now, a lot of people, when they go to buy a soccer shoe, they try to size them. They try to make them feel like they're everyday running shoes or their everyday casual shoes. And that's just quite simply not how they're supposed to fit. Part of the reason why you pay that extra money going from a low-end model to a high-end soccer cleat is that you're getting more premium materials that wrap your foot tighter, that have a more comfortable fit, that leaves less space on the inside of the shoe. That's how soccer cleats are supposed to fit. They're very precise, they're very tight, and again, every single model, every single silo has its own fit and feel. Again, just to bring it back to the first example I used, a Mercurial is not going to feel the same as the Copa Mundial. They're both soccer shoes, they're both premium, they're both high-end, they both fit really well, but they don't fit or feel the same way at all. And that is, again, where you have to develop a preference. So if you put on a Nike Mercurial and you have this preconceived notion that you have wide feet and it squeezes the side of your foot and it's so uncomfortable, then yes, maybe that shoe is too narrow for you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have wide feet. It's just not the shoe for you, and it perhaps doesn't fit you the way you'd like it to fit. And that really is the key point here. You have to find a shoe that fits you the way that you'd like it to fit. So for example, if you like something that perhaps isn't as tight across your entire foot, maybe something with a leather upper that has more potential to stretch and expand with kind of around your foot is going to be a little bit better than something like a synthetic shoe that's not really going to expand. It's kind of just going to have a compressed kind of squeezing sensation against your foot. Not necessarily too narrow for your foot, but that's just the way that shoe is supposed to fit. Again, most shoes are made to fit most people. Of course, there are anomalies. Of course, some people have particularly strange shaped feet or something like that. But like I said, most shoes will fit most people. So that's really it as far as the width of soccer cleats are concerned. There's just a lot of determining for yourself. And like I said, just a lot of misconceptions that you have to try to ignore when you are planning on buying a pair of soccer shoes. Again, if you're somebody who tries on a lot of different soccer cleats and you just find them all very uncomfortable width-wise, then yeah, you probably do have wide feet. But just go into the whole soccer cleat experience expecting the shoe to have a snug fit. Not every shoe is going to feel perfect from right out of the box. They take some break-in time. They take some time to stretch and expand to the shape of your foot. And as long as they aren't uncomfortable from right out of the box, then they most likely will become a lot more comfortable once you actually start to wear them. So just keep that in mind and you should be good to go as far as picking your next pair of soccer cleats if you were worried about the width. So hopefully this video kind of clears up some things, answers some questions. There should be less confusion now, I hope. But that's really what I have to say regarding the width of soccer shoes. I get questions every single day along the lines of, I have really wide feet, what shoe is best for me? And it's a really difficult question for me to answer because it's such a small amount of information. And like I said, most people don't know if they have wide feet. They just assume that they do based on how they think their shoes should fit or how they tried on a shoe and it fit. There's just, again, a lot of confusion, no kind of definitive answer. Everybody has their own unique situation. But again, hopefully this video cleared some things up for you. If you guys have any questions at all, leave them down below in the comment section. Hopefully I can get an answer out to you and explain anything else further that perhaps was not answered in the video. Again, if you have any thoughts of your own, leave those down below in the comments. We'll get a discussion going. If you guys want any more information on soccer cleats in general, go read some reviews on my website, soccerreviewsforyou.com. It's the first link down below in the description. A lot of people don't even realize that I have a website. Tons and tons of information there. So go ahead and check it out. If you enjoyed the discussion video today, you want to see more, be sure to support it with a like. That would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.